Listen up, Helldivers! This is the 4th episode in a series of training videos teaching you about the enemy and outdoors. This time we're going to be talking about the Chargers and Spewers. Now, as always, these enemies show up on all Terminid planets. So first of all, we'll be starting with the Spewers, specifically the Nursing Spewer. These are medium-sized Terminid with light armor. Some researchers believe that these are a variation of the Bile Spewer, and others think that they're either a sub-adult version or a female. These are easily identified by the yellow-orange coloring. These bastards have the ability to spit bile at its democracy-loving good guys, and may explode when they die, or even afterwards, so be careful where you stand, Helldivers. You'll run into these bugs on missions that are medium or higher. Now, moving on to the Bile Spewers. These are obviously similar to the Nursing Spewers, and spew bile a lot. They have green coloring to them and are slightly larger than the nurses. They appear on medium or higher difficulty, but beware! Because when you venture into the extreme or higher difficulties, these have the ability to stand in a mortar-like position, firing balls of bile into the air. So look to the skies, Helldivers. That green ball ain't no sun. Now, moving on to the Chargers. Now, the Charger is a large, heavily armored Terminid. These appear on medium or higher difficulties, and the higher the difficulty, the more often they spawn in. You'll see them guarding emergency evacuation points, or even elimination targets on early missions. It's unclear how these big boys fit into the bug life cycle, but some believe them to be older hive guards. So, these are called Chargers because they love to charge, smashing us Helldivers into the depths of hell. You could die on impact with the Charger, or with the floor you hit when you finished flying through the air. Now, I haven't seen any myself, but the variation of the Charger is called the Behemoth. These have more armor and are easily distinguished by the horns on their head. These are found only on medium difficulty as an elimination target. Now, with all that in mind, let's talk tactics. Now, as for both Spewer variants go, you can usually tell when they're about to spew. They'll lift their head back, almost as if they're charging up for an attack. Best way to avoid one shit-melting death is to dive out of the way, straight left or straight right, as soon as possible. A good old grenade underneath or near one of these will often sort one out straight away. But if you haven't got any grenades left, then light armor penetrating rounds to the hind legs will deal a decent amount of damage. And explosive rounds should preferably be used for the body shots. Now, Chargers may seem invincible, but let me tell you that once you know how to deal with them, they ain't no trouble. Now, you see a Charger uses its head to attack, and this makes its head an easy target. If you have any type of rocket launcher like the anti-tank or the recoilless rifle, or even a quasar cannon, you can one-shot these big boys in the head. But if you miss, you can blow off chunks of their armor, revealing weaker gooey parts, and riddle them with bullets. But don't fret, if you don't have any explosive weaponry, you can slowly and dangerously take these down by shooting them in the ass. Now, when a Charger charges at you, don't dive. They may seem big and slow, but they move at great speed and handle pretty well. Your best option is to run at them on a slight angle, essentially giving them the slip, and you'll slip right past and open up that ass for a whooping. Anyway, that's enough of that. I hope you learned something, Helldiver. Make sure you don't miss out on next week's lesson. Technically, it's treason. We'll be talking about Bile Titans, Brood Commanders, and the newly evolved Shriekers. So you can follow me on Twitch at The Very Big Fish, or you can subscribe here to stay up to date with all released most necessary Helldiver information.